the night, knowing the price, pay it off with my life, till it's out with your lights, do it all for the Christ, and he ain't playing nice, knew the end from the start, fix your face like it's art, the sons of a simp, call him Bart, yeah, you did your best, played your part, but now it's time to cut you to the heart, flex on occasion, it's the strangest of the salvation, you see it, believe it, amazing. Them chariots coming invasion since the creation. War, mind, Lord, bless the general. Greatest nation, eat them unequivocal. Bombs dropping, buddy, cause it's biblical. Start shit, now it's time to finish. Whoa. Said he won't woke, he looking for smoke. So, we give him some more. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world. And the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. And the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. And the beginning of ours. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world.
I can't wait for our kingdom to start and for there to be finished. Get rid of all of their idols and lying religions. Look for the crown like an Edris. Hey, this that crown talk. Wisdom of Solomon 5 talk. This that second Edris 6 and 9. We want eyes talk. It's your time to end. And my time again. It's our time to win. Away with the sin. You know what it is. Rejoice with my kin. See that is why we repented. Go to streets, I can see myself in it. The city is bright, the kingdom of light. A wonderful sight past the angels, the inner light. I need 1,000 years of labor. Sit on my throne with my savior. Try to know wine, press alone. He bring pain like major. You think the nations is equal to us? TK Kirkland, who raised you? Flex on occasion, my God a racist. That's why we moving with patience. It's been a long time coming. I spent my whole life running. Now that I'm 10 toes down and established my faith on 100. Woe to the nations, my king will race them. You know they gotta be punished. Jeremiah 25. Yeah, you know they gon' fry. Whoa. Said he won't woke, he looking for smoke. So, we give him some more. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world. And the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. And the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. And the beginning of ours. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, I ain't like that fade out. That fade out was not smooth. Yes, y'all. Hey, Shalom family, most high in Christ, blessed. We're back, the Nehemiah Squad. What? All right, all praise.
I tried something.
Hey, all right, so we're going to reintroduce ourselves. I'm Captain Zaccai.
Hey, I'm Officer Shell.
Officer
Judah.
Yes, sir. Hey, let's throw that thumbnail back up there. Hey, matter of fact, wait, before we go on, we had a nice little day yesterday. Went out to the Ujamaa Farms.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that was good.
Out there in, what's that, Woodlands?
Woodland, yeah.
In Woodlands. All right, so y'all hold it to anybody in the area, Sacramento area, Northern California, you know what I'm saying? Go check out the Ujamaa Farms, you know what I'm saying? Check them out. The brother Keith over there, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. Yeah. Most high in Christ bless him. And the family. But today, throw that thumbnail up. All right, so today's show is the FBA, all right? That stands for Foundational Black Americans, all right? That's been going around all through YouTube. It's all over the place, right? The divide and conquer, right? That's what we're going to talk about today. The Foundational Black Americans. Is bringing that out divisive, or does it bring our people together, right? But it says the divide and conquer blueprint. All right, and today's guest, we got our brother back. We had him on the show last year. When he was one of our first shows, and we discussed reparations. He's very big in trying to get reparations for California, and then obviously throughout America. California is pretty much like ground zero for the reparations of the Foundational Black American movement, right? So he works for California Reparations and Reparative Justice for American Freedmen. All right, bring out our brother, Chris Lodgson. What's going on, bro? What's going on, my brother?
What's good? Yo, fam, I'm digging the set. I'm digging the whole it looks amazing. I remember I was here last time, and the show setup was dope. It was fire. Right. But I don't know if y'all added some some new contributions and all that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Just a couple of lights. That's all, bro.
Right? I mean, lights, whatever. Yeah, whatever y'all doing, it looks good. And appreciate y'all for having me. Of course, as always, thank you for the opportunity. Blessings. I'm thankful to God and to my ancestors for allowing me to be here today.
Hey, man, all praises, Chris, man. Last time we seen you, we were in L.A. We seen you.
Oh, yeah.
We seen you digging through the streets, working. And we over there doing our thing, teaching. I said, yo, there go Chris right there. We ran up on it. So, yo, Chris, what's going on, bro? So it's good to have you, man.
Blessings.
So, all right. Obviously, we know what happened with the whole, well, we're going to get into it. We're going to show the people what went on with you during the whole thing, right? Because I think you came on the show back in like July or July or something like that. And then we had, there was the voting and all that took place in November, right? And I believe we're gonna talk about that, because in order to talk about the foundational Black American thing that's going on now, that started, it pretty much started from the whole reparations thing. When I say that, meaning that through the reparations, only reparations can go to foundational Black Americans or ADOS. That's what we knew it as before, right? And then from there, you had Tariq Nasheed. I think he probably coined that phrase. And then he started turning it into something else. Like, he started to become very divisive with it. And I think, and from what I can see, it seems like he did it. Now, you don't have to agree, because I know he's down with the reparations movement as well.
Yeah, shout out to the Tariq.
No. Shout out to, I'm going to get on Tariq a little bit. That's your man. You know what I mean? If I knew you knew him like that, I would have said, yo, try to get him on. Because
it's all good.
Yeah, because we definitely want to get at him a little bit. That's our brother. We love him. Yeah. But it's a little bit divisive what he's doing. Very divisive. Now, he took it into the hip-hop thing. He went crazy with it. Tariq, listen, bruh. If the money's going to foundational Black Americans, nobody cares. the rest of Israel, now we notice the 12 tribes. So that's how we look at it, as all the 12 tribes. The money that comes from the slavery that happened here in America will go strictly to the tribe of Judah, which is what y'all call foundational Black Americans. I don't think anybody should have a problem with that. That's common sense, right? But now it's turned into something else. It's like a little war going on, right? But what I want to do first is kind of just backtrack with you. Let us know what's going on with with your movement, what's happening with the reparations. I heard that now it looks like the Black Caucus was trying to steal your money. Hey, listen, there's a lot going on, bro, within the last week. Man. As soon as we got you to come on, it was like a whole bunch of stuff started happening. I said, oh, man, this is perfect. Yo, go ahead.
So, so first of all, again, thank you for having me. And when I was on in July, it was right before the final votes for the bills that we had been working on all year. And for those who don't know, that the California legislative season, I compare it to sports. I may have said this, publicly before. So, like, in sports, you got a regular season and you got an off season. Right. So the regular season for political stuff here in California, for making new laws and making new things, new rules, new regulations, new policies, is from, you could say January to, let's say, the end of September. That's generally speaking. It's not 100% technical, because technically it's from December of the prior year through the end of September of the following year. So that's technically what the length of the season is. But generally speaking, from January to about the end of September is the legislation season. And so when I came on in July, we was kind of close to the end. Right. And at that point we had 4 bills that we were working on. 3 of them that we wanted to get votes and get to the governor's desk, and then the governor to sign into law. And then 1 of them we wanted to get to the ballot and for the people to vote on in the elections and in what people vote on in November. So that's where we were when I first came on. We'll get more into it, I'm sure, but the bills that we had that we wanted to get to the governor's desk, they got blocked.
Right.
They got blocked by members of the California Legislative Black Caucus. Actually, the caucus as a whole decided as a group to block those bills. I would love to talk more about that. Right. But as it concerns right now, to your question, So there's a few things going on right now. One, we are in a whole new season, right? We in the last year was the 2024 season. It's the 2025 season. This is our second year of doing actual reparations and reparations related bills. We have uh, we have three big policies that we are working on right now related to reparations. One is the creation of a new state agency called the California American Freedmen Affairs Agency, whose job it would be to do genealogy to help individuals, residents verify that they are foundational Black Americans, that they are American freedmen, that they are of this specific tribe,
Right.
and then therefore qualify for all the things that come to them. That's a necessary step, because how you know who to cut the checks to, how you know who to do the free education for, or how you know who to direct the services and the benefits to,
Right.
if you don't have a way for people to verify and confirm that they are part of this group. So this is a very, very important policy thing that we're working on, and there's a bill that we wrote for. It's called AB Assembly Bill 1315, and we flipped the game on his head with it, because we brought it with actually a Republican, not with one of the Democrats.
Right.
So the whole game is kind of twisted right now, like, because everybody think, you got to work with Democrats. We are nonpartisan. We work with anybody. You could be red, blue, green, purple, polka dot, pink. Don't matter what the color of your flag is we policy over party. So it's, do you support and want what we want for our people, and then we will know to work on it. So that's the first big thing. Second big thing quickly is we are fighting for checks, for direct compensation, specifically to our seniors first. We honor our elders. I know you honor your elders, and I know that I don't have to tell this group nothing about honoring our elders and our forebearers, our foremothers, our forefathers. So we want to honor our elders first and do checks, specifically direct, unrestricted cash payments to our elders who are freedmen, who are foundational Black Americans, who are the descendants of those who are emancipated from chattel slavery in this country. We want to do direct financial compensation checks to them first. And so we are working on that right now. As a matter of fact, we'll be at the Capitol here in Sacramento on Wednesday for one of the budget hearings for one of the budget committees who got the money. So we're going to be up in there talking about put checks in the budget for our seniors first. And then we also working on, and you just touched on it, there was money in the budget last year for reparations and for what they call implementation of reparations.
Right.
So that means there was money in the budget last year, specifically $12 million.
I remember that.
$12 million.
We discussed that last time, and I was
right.
And I said, what is this $12 million for? And you said that was to set up the infrastructure in order for them to start sending the money.
1,000%.
And then my pushback was when they sent the stimulus checks, right? When they sent stimulus checks back in, 2020 or 2021, whatever that was.
Yep.
It was no info. They just sent it to everybody's account. So my thing is, why would they need to set up this whole? It seems like a carrot. You know what I mean? You put the carrot and you just keep having the people dance around like they ain't really serious. Like that's how I'm looking at it.
I could understand that, and I would say one to the example that you gave. One, obviously there was a lot of fraud. A lot of people got checked that weren't supposed to get checks during that stimulus time. We think about that stimulus time, the PPP loans.
Loans, yeah.
I mean, there's people still getting investigated by the FBI right now for
Absolutely.
taking checks that they weren't supposed to take.
Right.
So, but to the point, I think you raise a good point too, which is what is the infrastructure, or what was the infrastructure? There was infrastructure that they used. They used the tax system infrastructure to know, like, okay, whose name is on this, and so we gotta send this check to this person, or that person. I mean, there was infrastructure that was used. It was misused and abused because people got things that they weren't supposed to get.
Right.
But there was an infrastructure. For us though, there's not, at least until the last 2 or 3 years when we started working on this, there's not, like, we can't go into the city of Sacramento, buildings, the government buildings. We can't go into the county of Sacramento government buildings, or any other city or county government building across the state and say and have an answer to the question, how many people in here in this city are American freedmen, are foundational Black Americans, are the descendants of those who were emancipated from chattel slavery in this country? We haven't been even being counted as people. There's zero data collection on us, zero. Almost nobody here ever, I'm almost sure, unless you apply to a state job in the last two years, nobody has ever asked you on a form, are you a descendant of somebody who was emancipated in this country?
Right.
You like me got the same box that we got to check, which is the Black box or the
right.
African American box,
right?
Or put other, right? And we don't like that because that's not specifically for us. That could be anybody, and
sure,
there's all kind of things wrong with that,
right?
Yeah,
no, 100%. So y'all want so right, so that's the whole point now to figure out who is actually and how many. I remember we touched on this before. How many generations y'all going back?
Right. So actually, let me get to that too, because that's the right point. And then also, I don't want to miss the last point too, which is about that money.
Right.
So that money was in the budget last year. It was $12 million. Let's pick up there, and then I'll come forward.
Sure.
That money in the budget that was there last year, it didn't move. It stayed in the budget. Now, it stayed in the budget, and we understood it stayed in the budget, because specifically the people who is supposed to make a decision about where to put that money did not make a decision about where specifically to put that money.
Right.
And we found out, I want to say right around the time that I was on the show last year in the summer, we found out that there was a plan, a secret plan that became no longer secret, because some reporters got it, and then they put it out. There was a secret plan, a private plan, to put half of that money, that $12 million, into the infrastructure that we was talking about.
Right.
So create the agency to do the genealogy, all that, which is good. And then the other part of the plan was to put the other half of that money into some nonprofit organizations' hands. And we was completely unhappy, disapproval of that. Obviously, this is money that's supposed to be used to implement reparations or things related to reparations. What we don't want is none of these funds going to no nonprofit organizations, no individuals' personal pockets, right, to do or who knows what with. So that plan got uncovered in the middle of the summer last year, and then we told everybody about it, and other people found it out too.
Yep. We're gonna play a video real quick. Hold on. I don't want you to forget what you're gonna say. Hey, play video number 2, because I think this is there was a reporter from out here in Sacramento, and she put some pressure on the Black Caucus.
Oh yeah.
Talk about what you just got into. So we're gonna see how they react. Look at this, y'all. This is I mean, if it wasn't sad, it's really funny. That's video number 2, y'all. Okay, yeah, here we go. Volume, please, brothers. Volume. Start that from the beginning.
Zavala in Sacramento, California. A Latina reporter by the name of Ashley Zavala in Sacramento, California, had the California Legislative Black Caucus Assembly members on the hot seat when she asked them this question. Check it out.
How do you expect Californians to trust you to get reparations through? I mean, all of these things are reintroductions.
So are we talking about a 4 a.m. drinking at the Intuit Dome, or?
I mean, both.
Assemblymember McKenna is not here today.
I know she's not, but
you're welcome to talk to her. You're welcome to talk to her.
Yeah.
At any time about that.
Yeah, but
appreciate your coverage last year on that and many other issues.
Right, but reparations folks saw that pass and saw the governor sign it right after the reparations.
Are there any questions about this package before we go to session?
Damn.
I'm sorry.
He ain't want no smoke. He wanted to get up out of there. Hold on, we're going to keep playing it, but he wanted to hurry up and get up out of there. Talking about, is anything talking about this specific package? But he didn't want to talk about what she really trying to bring light to, right? But play the rest of it a little bit. Just play a little more.
We are entertaining questions about our reparations package this year. The bill that you're referring to was not a part of the California Legislative Black Caucus reparations package last year. That was an individual member's bill we all have our own individual members' bills. We all have to not only represent Black Californians, but we also have to represent the communities in which we come from.
So as you saw,
all right, we out of there. Now, the whole point is reparations for Black Californians. She said we don't have to represent not only Black Californians, but the neighborhoods. That's nonsense. That's politic talk.
It's crazy. It's crazy to hear that. So in a way, like, okay, like I get elected, let's say, and like in my district where people that elected me, not all of them was Black, right? That's true for, actually, there are no majority Black districts in California. There's not one district where the majority of the people who vote or who live there are Black. Not one.
Not one.
Of the 120 districts, 80 assembly districts, 40 Senate districts, there's not one that has a majority of Black people who live there or who vote there. And I think the highest is like 20, maybe 25%, maybe. The highest, and that's somewhere down in like LA area. So on the one sense, I get elected. I have people who are Black and not Black, who, people who self-identify as Black, people who don't self-identify as Black as a part of my district. That is correct. But one thing we also heard from this same group of Black caucus members, by the way, the person who you would listen to at the first part, that was Ashley Zavala. She's one of the reporters who was asking the question, and then the person who was responding to the questions first, that was Assembly Member Isaac Bryan of the LA area, and then the person who came on after to speak on the microphone, that was State Senator Akilah Weber Pearson of the San Diego area. That's the vice chair and the chair of this year's California Legislative Black Caucus. This is the group of people who self-identify as Black or African American, who are elected to the state Senate or the state Assembly to represent us here in Sacramento, but they come from other places across the state. There's 12 of them.
But Chris, let me ask you. So, do y'all feel confident with these individuals? Because and again, just to let the people know, y'all know our position on it. That we love and respect y'all because we understand it's like a freedom fighters, because we look at ourselves freedom fighters and we pushing for our people. So we respect that. At the same time, we recognize that scripturally through the Bible that this is not going to happen this way, right? Check this out real quick, Chris. It says a complete betrayal. California Reparations Task Force leader responds to Legislative Black Caucus decision to block bills, right? So what I wanted to ask you is, do you trust these people? Because, I mean, y'all are supposed to work together, but something ain't right. They should be going forward and really pushing for this thing, but are they doing that?
The answer is no.
Damn.
The answer is straight no. And and we don't have no problem saying that publicly, because I think in the political world, the word trust is not useful. The word trust is not useful, at least in my work. We trust none of them. Even the ones we like, even the political people we like, elected people we like, we still don't trust them.
Right.
Trust, you never trust any elected person at all. Even if you like them, even if they've done things that you like, I'm just telling you how we carry it.
Right.
We don't trust nobody who's elected to office at all. That's not useful to us, because we got to go on what you do and what you going to do next. So the answer to your question is a straight no.
Man. Well, see, hey, y'all got something? If y'all got something, bring it out. Because and that's what we've been talking about, Chris. We saying that it's not, because according to the scriptures, we're not going to get reparations from these people direct. We're going to take it from them when that time comes, right? And it's going to be everything, the whole world. That's what we're trying to tell you, right? So in looking at this, we're supposed to be one. Like, just say, we one people, we're fighting for reparations, but then this little Black caucus, you said it's 12 people, is stopping the movement, huh? You said,
12 of them.
Right,
Yep.
12 people is stopping the movement for all the people. So that means to me that there's some corruption, somebody getting some money in their pocket, something going on. You know what I mean?
Well, let me give you the the inside story of what actually went down, because you just brought up that photo of the article, and the sister in the article, that is Camilla Moore. That's our dear friend, dear colleague, Camilla Moore, who was the chair of the California Reparations Task Force. California had a reparations task force, or a reparations commission, or a group of people who decided and developed ideas for reparations back in 2021, 2022, and 2023. And Camilla was the chair of that group. And Camilla is, I tell her all the time, she's one of one. Nobody like her. She was the one in that picture that folks just saw, and she's absolutely right. Excuse me, when she used the word betrayal. Let me give you the inside game. So when I came on last July, right, we are about a month maybe until the end of, or until that betrayal happens that Camilla is talking about. So when I came on, we had spent like the last 7 months before that, so since like January, going to different committee hearings, getting all kind of support for these different bills, going through the political work and process that you need to do, and that everything has to go through to become law, or most things have to go through to become law. So we went through that step by step. By the time I came on in July, we at the end. We 1 month away from putting the bills on the governor's desk. So in that last week of August, when we are going to have the final votes to put the bills on the governor's desk, about 3 weeks after I came on the show, I went up to the Capitol, and I went to see that brother right there. Y'all fast with it. Yeah, that brother right there. Okay, right. Stephen Bradford. Yep. I went to his office, Senator Stephen Bradford, because we have been working with his office on the different bills that we like last year. So I went to see Senator Bradford's office, and I sat down with his staff and I said, okay, so we got like 1 week left. What day do you think our bills are going to come up to get final votes? Because I need to know that so I can tell people to come up to Sacramento and be ready to party, be ready to celebrate, be ready to commemorate the fact that we're going to pass the first ever state level American Freedmen Affairs Agency bill that ever happened, that we're going to pass the first ever bill to return property to people who had their property taken, that we're going to pass the first ever bill to create a reparations fund in the state treasury so we can have a place for our reparations funds to go to, so that way they could go to the people. And his staff tells me, so this is Monday, his staff tells me, Chris, we think it's going to be Wednesday. By the way, I'm actually still in my office, so if the lights go out, it's because I'm one of the last people in here, and ain't no
they shutting you down while you
let there be light, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm the last man standing here in the office today.
Right.
But so they said, Chris, it's gonna be Wednesday. So I go back to the team. I say, yo, Wednesday, y'all, get everybody up here. Boom, boom, boom. So it's Wednesday. We up at the Capitol. We in the big gallery area where all of the public is. I look at the agenda for the votes that day, and I'm looking for our bills, our 3 bills. All of our bills are on the agenda. So I'm like, all right, okay, it's going down. We about to celebrate and make history, and then we about to take the next steps after that. So the morning goes by. They don't call our bills. So I'm like, okay, well, it's like 200 bills on the list. We're like number 75, number 80. They only at number like 40, 50 in the morning. All right, cool. So we go to lunch, then we come back, then they get to like number 60, and then number 70. We like, all right, it's about to happen. When they get to like number 72, we're like 3 bills away. Right. I look to my left, and I see one of Senator Bradford, who we just saw. Right. I see one of his staff members come through the door of the public gallery. They never come up there. Never. Right. That's for the for like the public. So person come through the door and points to me and goes like this, asks me to step outside. Mm-hmm. So I step outside. I'm like, what's up? I could see in their face something is wrong.
Right.
They like, Chris, we got a problem. The governor has threatened to veto these bills if they come to his desk. He's going to veto these bills if they come to his desk unless you and Senator Bradford take amendments or changes to these bills, or else if they get to his desk, if y'all take a vote today, and if they get to his desk because the bills pass, he's going to veto these bills. So we look at the amendments. We said we don't like the amendments. Senator Bradford said, I'm not taking these amendments. And then at that point, and this is what the staff member is telling me, he's like, at that point, and right now, Chris, it's up to the Black Caucus to decide whether or not they take these bills up and call a vote on them and put them on the governor's desk with the knowledge that the governor might veto the bills, or do they block the bills themselves from going to the governor's desk?
Wow.
So we're like, first of all, there's only 3 days left in the year. It's Wednesday. The year ends on Saturday.
Right.
This is not when you do changes to the bill. You do changes to the bill months back.
Right.
So we're like, let me see these amendments. We see the amendments, or they tell us what the amendments or the changes that the governor's office wants are. They are insulting. They are insulting. They're non-starters.
Right.
We're not. Excuse me. We're not taking these amendments. They are amendments that take away the whole agency, that do more researching and do more studying. We don't need no more researching, no more studying. And so we say we don't like these amendments. Senator Bradford says he don't like these amendments. So we want to put the bills on the governor's desk and let the governor veto the bills if he want to veto the bills.
Right.
But that decision wasn't ours. The Black Caucus had the bills in their hands, and then it was up to them Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So remember, Wednesday, right? Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to decide what they're going to do. Are they going to put these bills on the governor's desk by calling a vote for them? Or are they going to block the bills themselves? They chose to block the bills themselves.
See that?
That's like not shooting the shot.
Right.
You
right?
Well, yeah, you got
Come on.
They held Chris Webber.
Yeah.
Come on.
That opportunity. If it gets shot down, it gets shot down.
We was y'all 1,000% right. That's why we were so mad at the Capitol. So by Saturday,
Chris, I'm sorry, I got to jump in there because you was heated. We was getting phone calls like, "Hey, that's the brother that was on the show." They were sending us the clips. They said, "Yo, they go to brother that was on the show. He's heated. He is hot." We ain't gonna play that one, man. You was on fire. I said, damn. We was about to call you too. I said, Chris, I ain't remember I saw you in LA. I said, Chris, I ain't even want to call you. You might have strangled us. Yo, hold on. We gonna show something real quick though. You gonna bring something out?
No, not yet.
Oh, we go. Hey, show that the first one, the first video, y'all. At 2 minutes, start at 2 minutes. It starts off with Senator Bradford, and then it goes into Chris. All right. This is when you was more calm, Chris. I think you had caught yourself after this, and you was, speaking.
We was on fire, bro. We was on fire.
All right, y'all. Yeah, I know y'all was mad as hell. Y'all got that one? Bring it up, man. Started at 2 minutes. 2 minutes, y'all. 2 minutes. All right, there you go.
Some concerns, as they have with many bills. But that doesn't mean you don't move forward with the bills because, you can fix them.
The California Legislative Black Caucus pulled the bill because it said the proposal...
Pause, stop right there. That's what Chris just said. The Black Caucus pulled the bill, right? So that's what they're reporting on right now. Go ahead. Hit play.
The bills that pass are not reparations. An apology is not reparations.
Chris Lodgson, a reparation activist with Coalition for Just and Equitable California.
The only bills today that even had a chance of being called reparations or could even get us to reparations are the bills that did not pass. It's one thing if we go out for a vote and we lose. Oh, all right. It's one thing if we go out for a vote, we win, and it gets to the governor's desk, and the governor vetoes it.
Supporters of the reparations say they're not giving up despite the setback.
It has to happen if we're going to have meaningful reparations.
All right, yeah, we go back to Chris. Chris, we just wanted to show that one. because you were calm there.
I was calmer.
Yeah, you were calmer.
You see, I was still stuttering.
Yeah,
You're still on fire on the inside.
Yo, because it was so wild. And thank y'all for playing that clip too. By the way, yo, I love y'all show. Thank y'all.
Thank you, bro.
Yo, from the pre-production work to the staff members behind the scenes, to the family and the team that's on live with you right now. Thank you. And that was absolutely so. Like I said, it's one thing if we go up for a vote and we lose. Okay. That's sometimes when you fight, you win some, you lose some. Right. All right. It's another thing if we go up for the vote, we win, and then it gets to the governor's desk, and then the governor vetoes it. Okay. That's part of the fight. It's another thing when you don't even call a vote on the bills.
Right.
You block the bills yourself. That's different. And that wasn't no people who call themselves white, people who call themselves Latino, people who call themselves AAPI. That was people who call themselves Black or African American who did that, the Black Caucus.
Right. What you think could be a possible reason for that? Why would they take that mindset, say, well, we're going to block it ourselves? What were they thinking?
I'm going to tell you what they told the public, and then I'm going to tell you what they was telling us. I'm just telling y'all what it is.
Bring it out, Chris. Bring it out.
Right? Yeah. So what they told the public, they put out a public statement that same day that y'all saw in that clip. They put out a public statement saying, we're not going to move forward with these bills this year because we wasn't able to be a part of the process of, doing the politics around this bill. We wasn't able to be a part of the political process. That don't make no sense at all. You are somebody who is a political person. You are elected. By definition, you are part of the political process. But, all right. Then the second thing they said in the statement was, we have concerns about the language of this bill, or these specifically the biggest bill, which was the bill to do the ancestry, the genealogy work. So we have concerns about the bill. And so, therefore, we want to work to change the bill language, but we don't have time this year because it's the last day. And so we're going to wait we're going to bring it back next year. That's what they also said in the public statement. We're going to reintroduce it next year, which will, we could definitely talk about that too, because they did not. We actually reintroduced it with somebody else, but they committed publicly to reintroducing the bill. So it's one, we wasn't able to be a part of the political process for this bill, which is complete nonsense. And two, we have problem with the language of the bill, which they didn't say until the last day. Okay? So, but what was going on privately behind the curtains was, there was infighting and fighting going on between the members of the Black Caucus internally. Some of the Black Caucus members was mad at Senator Stephen Bradford. Some of folks on his team, I think, was mad at some of the other Black Caucus members. Specifically, we would go into one meeting with one Black Caucus member, and they would be cursing out the other Black Caucus member, call them all kinds of things out their name.
But Chris, but think about it. Even if they didn't like each other, right? Because this is amongst all different nations, they always have the infighting. Look at, for instance, we just saw Donald Trump and the vice president, what's his name, J.D. Vance, right? Yep. They just was getting on Zelensky, right? They had the big thing, and it played out in front of everybody. Meanwhile, America has sent over what, $400 billion to Ukraine? Even with all that money being spent, they arguing, right? They arguing. They don't like certain things about each other, but they know as a family, they got to keep it pushing, right? But all of a sudden, when it comes to Black people, they can't do that. Why? Because they're tied into the enemy. Some or all of them are rolling with the enemy. This is what it is.
Yep.
And go ahead.
Yeah, I was just looking at the scripture as you were saying that. Go to Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 14. I was just looking at that.
Yeah.
As you said it, Cap.
Yeah.
Like they tied in, they locked in. They
100%.
They strings is being pulled. They just sit in the seats. They don't make the decisions. Read that.
No, not at all.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 14.
Come on.
Wherefore, hear the word of the Lord, ye scornful men,
Uh-huh.
that rule this people, which is in Jerusalem.
Uh-huh. So it's talking about the people that's in the high seats. Go ahead.
Come on.
Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death.
Who had they made a covenant with?
With death.
The death is the people that rule this earth, the people that rule the planet right now.
Mm-hmm.
They control everything. Go ahead.
And with hell are we at agreement.
And they at agreement with the people that dragged us down into hell. Come on.
When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us.
It said when everything passed through, if that bill passed, if we make the bill don't pass, it ain't gonna come to us. We good. We living it.
Yeah.
We living it up.
Yeah.
Whether so we gonna make sure it don't pass, because whatever happened and it not pass, it ain't gonna come to us. It ain't gonna touch us at all. Go ahead.
For we have made lies our refuge.
Come on.
And under falsehood have we hid ourselves.
Under the falsehood of being down with y'all, they hid themselves. But on the back end, they got a covenant with the death. They got a covenant with death and the people that drug us down the hill.
Yeah. And that hell right there, Chris, is talking about slavery. That's what it's talking about. Like, we still in cahoots. That's why, and we're going to bring out one more before we go back. Get our Sirach 12 and 10. And this is why. Because, yes, we got to work with people, right? You got to go to your job. You work with different type of people. But in something like this, you got to remember, we got brought here in slavery. Right. There's no way that the master now is going to say, let us give them all this bread. So now they could do what? Be on our level? It's just never going to happen. Listen, watch this. Look what God said. God know what he made. Look what he said.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
He said never trust your enemy. When he said never, he mean never trust thine enemies, right? And when you read the book of Deuteronomy, the enemies are the people that brought us here in slavery. It's very clear, right? Go ahead.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
You know how rust always keep coming back? So even though they say, hey, yo, Chris, you know what? We're going to work together. We're going to make this thing happen. Once he walks away from you, that hatred come right back. They ain't giving Chris a damn thing. Right. Go to the Black Caucus and tell them we got Ferraris for each of them.
Right.
And shut that bill down. Chris, this is what's going on behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Yo.
Why would they be beefing and arguing when all they got to do is get the money? Because think about it, they're going to get money for themselves as well. But they rather be in there cursing each other out. This make no sense. But it does make sense because what? Like we brought out, they at agreement with hell. Yeah. They have made a covenant with death. You know what I mean? And that's what the Lord calls the Edomites, which are the so-called white man. That's what he calls them. Right. He calls them what? In Revelation, he said they're like hell. Hell and death come after them. Wherever they go, death, hell. That's what it is. Right. But Chris, go back, man.
So let me pick up right there, because actually both of those scriptures I think are perfect right now, because the other, and to continue to answer the brother question, the other piece of the why was the first part of what I said. When they came upstairs and I was up in that gallery and they asked me to step out, the first thing they said was, Chris, the governor said he's gonna veto these bills. The person who's on top of all of them says, I'm gonna veto these bills if they come to me. So y'all better change these bills the way I want. If you don't change them, keep them. Don't let them come to my desk. But if you don't change them and they come to my desk, I'm gonna cancel them for you.
Right.
Now, what's crazy is why I appreciate the scripture, especially that first scripture, is because when the governor was asked, so the governor did a press conference like 2 or 3 weeks after the bills got blocked, and the governor was asked, well, you know, there was some bills that didn't get to your desk that reparations advocates is not happy about. The governor said, listen, I can't comment on bills that didn't get to my desk. I didn't have nothing to do with that.
Right. So that's why you relating to that first scripture that came out, because you know 100% that they was in cahoots with what's his name? Newsom.
Literally.
Yeah. 100% they was in cahoots.
Sure.
That's why they never let it go, because then this way it won't fall on him.
Right.
They took the heat, so-called, and then once everything scattered away, then they got their payment.
Right. And they said what's necessary so everybody can, we didn't like the language.
Right.
That's you got to say that. You know what I'm saying? You got to say something to this is what happened, But what really happened is what we can commonly see. What we can see, it makes sense to all of us. Somebody was scared. You know what I'm saying? And somebody's in cahoots, and that's obvious.
Yeah.
Like the scriptures say, was written aforetime, written for our learning.
Right.
Right. So I'm gonna show you something. Give me 1 Maccabees 11 and start at 20. So this is what we dealing with. And I'm bringing this up because I'm in a certain line of work. I'm in the union. You know what I'm saying? And we got different committees in the union. They got a committee for the women's act, this, that, and the third, right? But the black committee, we have to call it something else.
Damn.
Or else all of the union reps will get mad. They'll shut it down. So we can't say Black Carpenters Union. We cannot say that. So we got to call it the inclusive committee. You know what I'm saying? And
the chocolate committee.
You should see the symbol. The symbol got a brown hand, a light hand, a white hand on it. We cannot just say, you know what I'm saying? We cannot say black, right? So watch this. Read what you got.
It's the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 11 and verse 20. At the same time, Jonathan gathered together them that were in Judea to take the tower that was in Jerusalem.
We was finna take our tower back, right? He gathered all of the people. Let's go take it. We're going to take action, right? Read on.
And he made many engines of war against it.
We put action together. We made engines of war. We say, look, here go our battleships. We going to go take this, right? Watch this.
Then certain ungodly persons who hated their own people.
But ungodly people, ungodly other black people that hated their own people,
went unto the king and told him that Jonathan besieged the tower.
You know they finna come take the tower, master. You see what we dealing with?
Right.
It's the same thing over and over and over, even to this day.
That's right. That's that Judas.
Yes.
That's that Judas. When they made Judas and the Black Messiah based on Judas Iscariot, right? But the same exact thing. You got a damn mole, a demon, a traitor amongst the family.
Right.
Right? And that's why this thing is going to be continuously spinning its wheels. You know what I mean? And I'm going to tell you something, Chris.
On this, because, first of all, I appreciate that scripture also. Because that sound like what we sounded like in August and September of last year.
Right.
I mean, it was, and that's why I was so upset. And all right, y'all, we regular people like everybody else. We come from outside the political world. We didn't go to school for no politics, and we all volunteers, right? Like, I mean, we all still, we all got, I'm still at my office right now. Like we doing this because we want our people to be in the best place that they could be and get what was taken from us, and also be prosperous in the future for our future generations. That's what we doing this for. So we learned the hard way, though. We learned that lesson the hard way last year, which was it be your own people.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, and I just remember being up there that last week and seeing again there's 12 of these people. Now there's 12 black state senators and state assembly people combined. There's 120 state senators and state assembly people, black and non-black. Right. So 12 out of the 120. Keep in mind what I said earlier too. Not one of them represent an area that's predominantly with people who self-identify as black, or with predominantly people who vote who self-identify as black. So they have their own political things going on, but it was so in our face last time, and we realized right then and there that one, trust is not a word that we can use. As I've said earlier. 2, we have to do more than only work with the black electeds or the non-black electeds in one party. We have to work on all pieces of this. That's the inside, the outside, the side, and that's partly why this year we have a bill to do that agency with Lebanese American Republican.
Wait a minute. Hold on. See, now we got to talk, because this is taking us into our next segment, right? So now you have to branch out and deal with the Lebanese Americans, right? Now, when this thing first started, it was, hey, listen, we want to make sure that this thing ain't touching nobody else. Like, this got to be us. We want to make sure the nobody else is involved in any of this, and so on and so forth. Now, but again, and now you got to deal with the Lebanese American what? How they get involved?
Republican. And now,
how did they get involved in this?
It actually goes back to that last day in August. So what folks didn't see. So one, we was there that last day when people saw us at the Capitol, mad.
Right.
That was Saturday, the last Saturday, August 31st. We were there from I want to say 10 in the morning into Sunday morning, 2 a.m. So where y'all saw us at in that area, we was there till 2 in the morning. All right. Now, at a certain point during the day, it became clear that the Black Caucus was going to block their own bills, and that they were not going to bring the bills up to get votes, like we've been talking about. So some people started to leave, but we had a bunch of folks up there. Some people started to leave, but a lot of us was not leaving until they made us leave, until the doors closed, until the lights went off. So as the day went on, people seeing it on social media. People are Instagram live in it. People are, Twitter X live in it. People are YouTube live in it. People are, writing stories about it. It's getting picked up on the local news as we are there still. Mm-hmm. So one of the Republicans came out of the chamber and walked up to us and was like, "Why y'all here? What's going on? I see y'all, I see the social media going on. I'm, checking my phone. What's going on?" And we say, "Listen, excuse me. We got bills. It's the last day. The Black Caucus is blocking their own bills because they're scared of the governor, because they fighting internally, and that's why we here." And so the Republican says, "Listen, I'm not a supporter of reparations. I don't believe nobody should get no checks. But I do think y'all deserve at least a vote on this bill. So I'm going to," and this is the last day. He says, "I'm going to try to bring their own bill up right now." So he goes back inside.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a Republican now trying to make the Democrats vote on their own bill.
Right. Because you know what he's doing. He's trying to make them look bad.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right.
He want to make them look bad. He want to prove to other Black folks who may want to vote, in the future, that y'all need to stop working with these Democrats because they don't like y'all. They treat y'all like this. They say all this and how they going to support you, but then when they get in office, they do things like this. Mm-hmm. So that's part of what he was on. So, but at that point, we don't care. We don't care why you're going to do it. We want you to do it. So he goes back inside, tries to bring their own bill up. They block him from bringing their own bill up. So that was the beginning of our knowing this Lebanese Republican state assembly person's name, and his name is Bilal Asali, or we call him Bill Asali, but I think his full name is Bilal Asali.
Yeah. Well, Chris, let me say this.
Yeah.
Y'all might be going deep into the fire because the Lebanese, they got beef with Israel. So how in America you gonna get something passed with having Lebanese as your fighting partner? Because as soon as the other Jews, the Jewish guys, as soon as they get wind of that, you're done.
Good question. All right. So let me get to that in this way. So again, that was the beginning of our knowing about him. So since then, and then since since then and up until now, we went back to every single person in the state Senate, every single person in the state assembly, all 120 of them. As a matter of fact, on January 7th of this year, we had over 100 people up here in Sacramento going office to office, door to door, to every state senator, every state assembly person, saying, here's what we want you to do this year. Here is the bills that we want this year. This is part of our job, part of what we do as advocates, and as people who lobby for reparations bills, and people who are doing community work for reparations. So we went back since the last days of August, and we went up there and said, listen, it's the end of the year, so we can't do nothing now, but next year in 2025 we want you to do X, Y, Z. So as we've been doing that, and as we did that late last year and into January and into February of this year, the only person who responded back to us and said, I'm interested in what y'all got, was this same Lebanese American Republican named Bill Asali. So we went back to see his office after we had went up there in early January, and he said, listen, I'm being transparent with y'all. I don't want y'all to have no lies. I do not support putting cash money and cash payments in people's hands. That's where we disagree. But what we do agree on is the fact that you, as a people, are a specific people. You are the descendants of those whose ancestors were emancipated from chattel slavery in this country. You are your own people. You are your own tribe, if you will. I agree with that. And I agree that the state needs to help people verify and confirm and do genealogy about that. So I support, and I will, and I'm happy to bring this bill to do this state agency, to do this genealogy work. I'm happy to do it. Give me the language. I'll read it. If I like it, I will introduce it. And that was the beginning, or the last part of how we got this bill called Assembly Bill AB 1315 by Assemblymember Bill Asali, introduced in late February. Now, directly to your question. So we expect that we're gonna have opposition from all kinds of places. That includes folks who don't like Bill, because of his history, because of his background, because of his voting record. We expect we're gonna have all kind of opposition. What we are working towards is focusing people on you may not like Bill, for that's Bill Asali right there. Mm-hmm. You may not like his politics. You may disagree with him on certain things that he's voted on in the past. I don't know any political elected person who I agree with everything or most things that they did in the past. We may have disagreements right now on things, which we do. But the most important thing that we want you to focus on is not his history, not his background, not his voting record, but on the bill that's in front of you, on the thing that's actually in front of you, because that's what we actually talking about. We're not talking is if you don't like Bill Asali, then the way to get Bill Asali out of office is to run somebody against him and get him out of office. That don't have nothing to do with the bill that we have in front of us. And that's what we working to focus people on. And most people, I'm just gonna be 100 with you, most people that we talk to about this bill, they don't care if it's a Democrat who do it, it's a Republican who do it, if it's a Green Party, third party. One of my folks said, my aunt told me she don't care if it's a Republican who does the bill. It don't matter if it's the right thing. And this bill and this policy is the right thing. So again, to answer your question directly, we are working to focus people on not the things that don't got nothing to do with the bill, but the actual bill that's in front of us.
Okay. So again, it's more political football, right? Because you can't really trust, and again, we know that you say trust is not a thing that y'all doing. You can't really trust Bill because Bill got his own interests, right? Bill is trying to make the Democrats look bad. Bill is trying to sway voters, right? Not only the black, but the Hispanic. He wants to swing them over to the Republican side. That's what he's doing. And he probably did do that because a lot of black and Hispanic have voted for Donald Trump, right? And he's in there. Right, but we know the votes don't really count like that anyway. Is that they selected Donald Trump to be the president, and it's cool. Donald Trump is funny as hell, and I'm glad he's the president so we can laugh. We got something to laugh at every day with this guy, right? But now I want to talk a little bit about, and so I know that's where y'all are standing at right now. So it's good. We wanted to do an update on where you was at with that. Now we want to talk a little bit about the situation with the foundational Black Americans, right? Now, I'm talking about it. I'm not saying every single one, but we're talking about what came up with Tariq Nasheed, and then we had Fat Joe. Now, you from New York, you know Fat Joe for a long time.
DX.
Right. Fat Joe is our guy, right? Now, they got Fat Joe looking like the enemy. Right. Why they want to do this? Fat Joe is from Puerto Rico, right? That's his people, right? He's from the tribe of Ephraim. They are our people. When you look at, matter of fact, we're gonna read something to you out of the Bible because I think a lot of people like Tariq Nasheed. He was started mentioning a lot about hip hop and what was going on in the beginning and in Puerto Rico. First of all, he's not from New York. He don't know what the hell he's talking about. All right, he don't know what he's talking about. Tariq, if you ever see this, you ain't got to take it personal. You know what I'm saying? You are brother. We love you, but you don't know what the hell you're talking about, right? But we're going to go to 2nd Esdras chapter 13. I just want to show you who came over to the Americas, who went over into that side of the world, so that you would know that when we see the so-called Hispanics, those are our people. They just have taken on different looks. You got dark-skinned ones, you got light-skinned ones. So we don't have to look at them like, oh, yeah, that's not us. That's not for us to do. That's crazy. The Bible is calling it, the Lord is calling for us to pull ourselves back together. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say, gather yourselves together. That's how we come as a nation. If we just rolling with just the Black Americans, which is tribe of Judah, all the power ain't there. But when we come in with all 12, everybody, that's when the strength is there. All right, you got what I want? Watch this, Chris.
It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13 and verse 40.
Yes, sir.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea, the king, whom Salmanasar, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
Right. So this is talking about when he took the Israelites into captivity, the northern kingdom, which is the 10 tribes, which today is known as the Hispanics, right? We just going to clear it up for you like that, right? Hey, real quick before we move on, did y'all get the 12 tribe sign? Just put it up for Chris. I just want him to see what we're talking about. Ciroc, did you find that thing? Put it up. I just want Chris to get a visual so he knows what we're saying. Like as we go through the scriptures, he can see it and have an understanding on that real quick. Please post that. I should have posted it before we even started reading so you could check it out, Chris. Y'all got that? All right, there you go. Throw that up. All right, Chris, so when you look at from the top, you got Judah, which is the American blacks. And we got all of this from the Bible, right? We couldn't get into the breakdown tonight because it's a lot. But Judah is the American blacks, which would be the foundational Black Americans. The tribe of Benjamin, the West Indian blacks. Levi is the Haitians. And then starting from Ephraim, going all the way down, or what we would call Hispanic tribes, right? Ephraim, Puerto Ricans, Manasseh, Cuban, Simeon, Dominicans, Zebulon, Guatemala to Panama, and so on and so forth, right? So when the scriptures talk about the 10 tribes, it's talking about from Ephraim all the way down. There was the tribe of Dan that was involved at the time, but they assimilated into the tribe of Benjamin, and some assimilated into the other tribes as well when they stayed back on the east, all right? So go ahead. So now that you can see that, we're going to read it.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 41. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
Right. So they got liberty to leave Assyria and the different places where they were in captivity. And they said, we're going to get together and go to a place where never mankind dwelt. Right? Go ahead.
That they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
Go ahead.
And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river.
Right. So they jumped into some ships and they went through the Euphrates River. All right. Go ahead.
For the Most High then showed signs for them, and they held still the flood till they were passed over.
Right. So once they went through the Euphrates, they went around the Cape, which was underneath Africa, the Horn, and then up and through the, where all the Atlantic oceans and all those oceans combined. It's very treacherous through there. But they had signs for them, meaning the stars, right? The so-called Mexican, which is this tribe of Issachar, you read about in the Bible, they knew how to read the stars, right? Same thing when you see, they always talk about, when they see the artifacts, they talk about the Mexicans had up futuristic things to come because they used to read the stars. So that's here. You find it in another part of the Bible. But bottom line is that's how they knew how to get to where they were going. They were following the stars, right? Go ahead.
For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half.
So it took them a year and a half to leave from Assyria, go through Euphrates, around the Cape, and into the west, right? It took them a year and a half. Go ahead.
And the same region is called Arsareth.
Arsareth. That's where they went to. So now we're going to pull up Arsareth so you can see what Arsareth is, right? Y'all should have had that already locked in, right? So remember, you have from the tribe of Ephraim all the way down, right? They left, went west, okay, into a place called Arsareth. Brothers.
Arsareth.
Hey, blow that thing up.
Hey.
Okay. There you go.
This is out of the Jewish Encyclopedia.
Right. So hold on. So Chris, this is coming out the Jewish Encyclopedia, right? Meaning this, the so-called white man. This is their writings. Watch this.
Arsareth, the name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell.
Will dwell, right? Because they know that they were leaving there and going over. Go ahead.
Observing the laws of Moses until the time of the restoration.
Until the time of the restoration when all 12 tribes are coming back together. Because that's what we're supposed to be doing now, gathering ourselves back together. Read.
According to 4th Ezra 13:45. Columbus.
Who?
Columbus.
Christopher Columbus, Chris. Christopher Columbus. Go ahead.
Identified America with this land.
Right. So Christopher Columbus, when he came over to the Americas, he already knew who was going to be on this side, right? So you're talking about South America, North America, through the West Indies, all those islands. He knew that the Israelites were going to be there, right? So now when you look in Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, all these different places, in Mexico, Brazil, all these places, that's our people.
Come on.
That's our people. So when we're here thinking that we're trying to divide ourselves by saying, oh, I'm this, and this kind of talk, and again, this been happening in America from the beginning, right? When the Caribbean people, because you from New York, when the Caribbean people came to New York, it was beef with the Americans and the West Indians, right?
Oh yeah.
Boom. And then that happened. It was like, okay, that was a little bit of a fighting for a while, then it got cool. You had Puerto Rico fighting against Judah. Judah, the black Americans fighting every damn body. They was fighting Ephraim, which is the Puerto Ricans, fighting them uptown in Harlem, right in the Bronx. Then they got cool, right? Benjamin, same thing. The West Indians, boom, and then all of a sudden it was a clique. In New York, it's not like everywhere else. Like other places, like say here in California, Southern California, you got blacks and the Mexicans fighting each other. We don't see that over there. It ain't like that in New York.
Different.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different, and this is important. So this is very important.
Right.
Very, very, and I'm glad we here. First of all, Brother Tariq is right. Okay, and I'm gonna put that out there. And
go ahead, speak on Tariq.
We love dialogue and we love challenges. All right, so
right.
So
let's go.
So yeah, right. So so brother Tariq is right. Excuse me, and it's about more than hip hop though.
Absolutely.
Even though like what Brother Tariq is talking about is really about a big discussion, on the internet that's been going on really for the past, I want to say several years, about, who is responsible for this thing we call hip hop, which people is responsible for this thing that we call hip hop, and who's the originators of this thing that we call hip hop that's changed the whole world, that's never had no kind of genre of entertainment like it.
Right.
And that's us. We are. You will call us the tribe of Judah. We call ourselves Foundational Black Americans, or American Freedmen.
Right.
That's us. And so folks like Fat Joe, I think Busta Rhymes also, got in this also, saying that no, it's the folks who are, immigrants from, the Caribbean who's the originated from, who is the source of this thing called hip hop, or it's the folks who, originate from, parts of the, Latin countries, or, countries that, that was, colonized by, by Spain that speak Spanish.
Right.
That is responsible for this. And we like, nah, this is actually something that we created here. I mean, the first hip hop rap beats are breaks of James Brown's records. So like we not even going, have too much of a, dialogue with you on it because it's clearly something that we created. But it's about more than hip hop though. And I think this is something that you are seeing, not just in hip hop and music, but in movies.
Right.
And in the political world. And we're doing a version of this right now in the political world. So like the same thing Tariq is saying in the hip hop world, and same thing folks were saying in the movie world, we're doing the same thing in the political world, and people call it divisive. I actually don't know if I am mad at that word anymore.
You should be.
Yes, it's divisive. Yes,
it's very divisive. It's bad. Yes. It's bad business.
But hold on. I'm saying divisive is not bad. And let me
Chris, that's like in the Vampire in Brooklyn when it says evil is good. Come on, Chris. No. What we talking about right now?
Now y'all know this better than I do. A word only mean what we say it mean, right? And what is commonly understood to mean, and right, and what's the agreed upon meaning.
Right.
So, if I'm somebody who is committing crimes, the police are divisive. If I'm somebody who's stealing and I don't want to be caught stealing, the people who trying to stop me are divisive. If I'm trying to, as I think y'all know, to separate the wheat from the chaff,
right?
That's divisive, right? If I'm trying to separate the good from the bad, that's divisive. It don't mean it's wrong to separate them.
Okay. Well, let me say this to you, Chris. Hold on. I want to stay there for a second. What we saying is this, and we know it's bigger than hip hop. That was the point. But it's taking on a whole new thing through the hip hop, right? Now, I'm a hip hop head, crazy from New York, right? Now, we know for a fact, right, that Judah started hip hop. That's not, or is the more bigger influence of it, right? But here's the thing. The three guys who started the whole let's come outside and let's do this, they're all Caribbean guys. You got Grandmaster Flash, he's Caribbean. His people's from Barbados. You got Kool Herc, his people from Jamaica. And then you got Africa Bambaataa, who we don't like to talk about too much no more, but his peoples are also from the Caribbean, right? And we don't really want to talk, but I'm just bringing it out because these are the three guys. Now there were other guys who didn't get as much fame as them, but they were Black Americans. This is a fact, right? And the fact that even a lot of the rappers from New York are from the tribe of Benjamin, which is true, but it's still an American art form, right? Because they're not rapping in the accent that they come from in patois. That's a different thing. They rapping in the hood dialect, right?
They got our culture on, and that's the point that we're making.
Hold on. I'm not arguing this, but let me just say something to you now. Let me say something to you now, because this is something that you can't front on what I'm about to say. The culture in New York is comprised of a few people. It's not just, now don't get me wrong, again, I'm telling you, the majority of it is Judah. That's not an argument. We're talking about all the great music that has influenced the world has come out of America, right? From the Black Americans. We know this for a fact, right? And everybody looks towards Judah. The scriptures tell you the same thing, that Judah is the head. So that's not nothing to argue about. So we don't argue that fact too much, but we know, especially coming out of New York, because that was the birthplace of hip hop, that there's different tribes that's involved. A lot of Benjamin is heavily involved in hip hop. If you start to go look at all the rappers, you're gonna see, oh shoot, Jamaica, Trinidad, Jamaica.
That's not what we're arguing, though, right?
No.
And so like that point,
not to cut you off, Chris.
Other people, who have contributed to the art form, that's clear.
No, yeah, for real. And I'm not talking about even now. I'm just saying back then.
Back then, even more.
Right.
But where the question is, what's the source of this? Who
source
is the
Judah.
originator? Which tribe is the
give me
originator?
that from the waters of Judah. No. What we trying to tell you is that this is a fact. Judah is the head tribe. That's how come so much great things come out of Black Americans. If y'all didn't know that, Judah is the head tribe. It's a spirit on Judah. You know what I'm saying? And the rest of the Israelites. It's a. But what I'm telling you is that this thing that's happening now with Tariq, and I'm just saying him, right? I'm just putting him out there because he was the most forerunner with the whole Black Foundation of Black Americans, and nobody else should be involved, and so on and so forth. And this is what we do. That's when it turned into a thing. Right. It turned into a thing. Yeah. And in the scriptures, you've seen the same situation. The Lord, now I'm gonna show you something. Back when Israel was all together, 12 tribes, right? The first king of Israel was a Benjamite, which was today would be a so-called West Indian, right? From the tribe of Benjamin. When he got killed, there was a war in Israel, right? And it was Judah, right? Today, Black Americans against everybody, right? This, what we telling you is that these things happen for the Lord to show us, and for us to look and relate back to the Bible and say, this is our people. We know this. When we're looking at this, we see our people playing out in the Bible. We just I want to read something to you, Chris. We got to show you, right? Give me 2 Samuel 5 in verse 1. We're going to read something to you, Chris. Because all we trying to bring out is we have to get, our people have to be gathered back together. We don't care about no reparations. You know what I'm saying? My brothers here, my two brothers here, they both. Right, go ahead.
I want you to read what you want to read because I want to hear it.
Right.
But let me add this to it,
please.
But let me preface. Just put a contribution on it. So, the point that we make is that the way we come together is the way that we're doing it now. Right? The way that we come, and it might sound different, or it might sound in the opposite direction, but there's no coming together if we don't have our own self-identity first. So in order for us so like I gotta know that this is my tribe and these are the boundaries of our tribe in order for me to even link up with another tribe. And so what you see brothers like Tariq doing and others doing in the hip hop and entertainment world, what we doing in the political world, is us what we call putting the gate up. This is our tribe stuff. And that's it. And that's nobody else is getting it. Now people can contribute to it, but it's ours and nobody else can take it. And that's that self-determination is the first step to being able to even be in a union with any other tribes.
But you about to be in a union with some Lebanese Republicans.
So
how you can't be in union with your people? Like, again, my thing is this.
No,
hold on. Chris,
showed us.
hold on, Chris. Listen what I'm saying.
Showed us.
Right. No. Listen what I'm saying. If reparations comes down, it's going to go to Black America. Nobody can argue that or want to fight that. That wouldn't make sense. Clearly, that money. And guess what? If that was to happen, there would be a ripple effect across the whole world.
Right on.
Right? Because now that means that the Haitians could now go to France and say, you owe us some bread.
Come on.
Right? The tribe of Benjamin could go to England and say, you owe us some bread.
Come on.
Right? And all of that would continue. But that's one of the reasons why I'm telling you that reparations is not going to happen here. Because it's going to be such a ripple effect that they're going to have to take care of the Native Americans, which is GAD. They have to give their whole life to us. But we're just going to read something real quick, Chris. We're going to read this.
This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 5 and verse 1.
Come on.
Then came all the tribes of Israel to David unto Hebron, and spake, saying, Behold, we are thy bone and thy flesh.
So all the 11 tribes came, because they was at war for like 7 years. Then they said, you know what? We got to stop this, right? Benjamin was the head of the rest of the tribe, said, yo, we got to stop this. So they went to David, who was head over Judah, and said, listen, we are flesh of thy flesh and bone of thy bone, meaning we family. We just in different tribes. Go ahead.
Also in time past, when Saul was king over us, thou thou wast he that leddest out and broughtest in Israel.
Meaning what? That when King Saul, who was from the tribe of Benjamin, King David, who was from the tribe of Judah, was his right-hand man. So he said when King Saul was the head, you was the one fighting and bringing us in and out. So they respect David. You know what I'm saying? They love him for that. Go ahead.
And the Lord said to thee, thou shalt feed my people Israel, and thou shalt be a captain over Israel.
Go ahead.
So all the leaders of Israel came to the king to Hebron, and King David made a league with them in Hebron.
Right, and King David made a league with them, meaning we back together. Because the war was going on too long. They recognized it don't make sense. Because if you got outside invaders, how can our family be torn apart? That's crazy. We have to be together, right? Go ahead.
Before the Lord, and they anointed David king over Israel.
Right, so King David now became the king over the entire 12 tribes, right? Read on.
David was 30 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 40 years. In Hebron, he reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months.
So I wanted to bring that out because when he first started to reign, he was only reigning over the so-called black Americans. I'm just using that as terminology you can know, right? The tribe of Judah for 7 years. And the brothers from the tribe of Benjamin, they had the rest of Israel for the last 7 years. But now they're coming together. Go ahead, read on.
In Hebron, he reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months. And in Jerusalem, he reigned 30 years over all Israel and Judah.
Right. Right. So now, oh, man. So, okay, I'm going to let that go. We're going to get to something else later. Right. I'm going to show you later on the split. What happened again? Our people split again. Right. So for the purpose of us having this conversation is not so much to battle in who came up with hip hop and so on and so forth, because I don't think that's really an argument. Because the tribe of Judah was here, established in the music game since the beginning. The whole music industry is based on black Americans. Everybody knows that. Everybody. I'm talking about every form of music, heavy metal, jazz music, country music, R&B, blues, rock and roll, yes, blues. Every form. I'm talking about seriously every form, even the ones who you think, oh, that's white people doing that. No. That was our music first. They started messing with it, and then their interpretation of it took into whatever they got going on now, right? So to me, that's not an argument for us to have. We understand. To me, make it clear. Reparations for black Americans over here, cool, but we a family. We can only be stronger together.
The Lord said, what you mean. So to your, I wanna
come on, Chris.
Challenge you on something here too, because there are people from among the tribes who are saying, give us some of your reparations too. As a matter of fact, one of the biggest fights we've been having in the reparations world since I got into it, let's say 2017, just sort of, from being online and then got serious about it in, 2019. And to this day, some of the biggest fights we are having and have had to have is from other people who self-identify as Black or African American, who are not foundational Black Americans, who are not American freedmen, saying, I want some of theirs too. That is actually, that is one of the biggest fights that's been going on in the reparations world here in California and across the country. And that is happening still to this day.
Well, I don't know who those people are, but that doesn't make much sense. Right. You understand what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense.
Tell me about it. Right. It don't. But I'll give you an example. If you go back to the California Reparations Task Force hearings, and I want to say 2022, February and March of 2022, we had big long fights, hours long, with people, and half of the Reparations Task Force and almost half of the Reparations Task Force in California voted. They lost, but voted to make reparations for anybody who self-identifies as Black or African American, not just people whose ancestors built this country. So I want to give you that knowledge, because part of what you see us reacting to, whether it's in the hip hop world, whether it's in the music world, whether it's in the entertainment world, or whether it's in the political world, part of what you see us reacting to is an attempt out in our face attempt. It's not even hidden by organizations, by people who self-identify as Black or African American, who want some of our reparation. This is just an actual fact. So I want you to have that, just for your knowledge, because that's something that we fight on every single day to this day.
That's why we said it's something bigger than the music thing. That's a stumbling block to the bigger goal, because
it is.
Look, y'all fighting for reparations. Y'all actually moving. Train is moving, and then we arguing about hip hop. Yeah, our enemies they laughing at that. Let's throw a little information out there and have them fight against each other. Then that springs into now we something different than y'all. Now we gonna separate because y'all want to take our hip hop. Guess what? That's who's better, LeBron James or Michael Jordan? Who cares? We're oppressed.
I don't know who better.
Oppressed.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Era, but we are different though, and then this is something that we are lifting up, and we are not being afraid to say this anymore. You know, see, it was a time where we was afraid to say that we are different. We are a different people than our brothers and sisters who immigrated from the West Indies or from from what we call the Caribbean, or from our brothers and sisters who immigrated from the continent of Africa more recently, shall we say. First of all, we are different people because we didn't voluntarily come here. Let's start there.
We the same.
But secondly, we different because we live with and are the descendants of those who were emancipated from chattel slavery in this country. This makes us an entirely different people to us, politically, culturally, economically, other ways too. I mean, almost if not every single way.
Well, and this is what I'm saying, right? Watch this, Chris. If me and you tell the truth, right? I know where the thought process comes from. I live here in America, right? So the truth is, the other tribes that you're talking about, they be talking SH about us. They do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they do.
Now this is what it's really about. If we just talk straight up, right? They, and even myself, I'm just now learning about Black Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? In my they don't teach this in school. So imagine where they coming from. Mm-hmm. They see us as Black, they lazy, they this, that, and the third. We hear that. We see that, we feel that, right? So then what you starting to feel is when they trying to partake in it's like, well, you can't take the good and then leave the bad with us. You either rocking with us or not. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, hey, look, the things written aforetime, written for our learning. So what the mindset, I understand where it come from, but the end goal to get to the goal is a hindering, right? So give me Zechariah 12:7. Watch this. I'll show you something. I'll show you something real quick. I'll show you two quick scriptures. Because the thing is, if we don't tell the truth of what it is, if we talk about the basketball and that's not what it's about. Right. It's about
way
what we
bigger than that. And brother, I'm glad you brought that up, brother, because we got to be like, let's just be 100 real. What you just said is 1,000. And it's okay to be different people. It's okay that just because unity don't mean uniformity, right? Just because we are our own people doesn't mean we don't have brothers and sisters and cousins from other tribes. Like that's not what this means. But it does mean that we are our own specific people, and I'm glad you brought that up around there's racial slurs for us.
From every tribe. But what we don't understand is the recognition that we looking for is already promised to us. Watch this.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 12, verse 7.
The
Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first.
The Lord gonna save the tents of Judah first. He gonna bring the word to the foundational Black Americans, right? That's who Judah is, right? Read on.
That the glory of the house of David.
The other nations read. Not the other nations, excuse me, the other tribes read.
And the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
The entire 12 tribes, the rest of the tribes who are not the foundational Black Americans read.
Do not magnify themselves against Judah.
That's why the same way that we having an argument about the rap, right? The Lord gonna make it clear who's bringing the word first. It's gonna be the house of Judah, the one that everybody say lazy, the one that say everybody don't know how to. Look, the other tribes, they still got skills, bruh. They know how to fish. They know how to build. All that stuff been taken away from us, and they don't know that. They come over here seeing they have not faced the level of oppression we have. So get Isaiah 11 and 13. Right? Start at 12. Watch this. So everything you read is written for our learning. This is what we're going through. Watch this.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 11 and verse 12. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations.
That's the Bible.
And shall assemble the outcasts of Israel.
Right. Guess what? The outcasts of Israel, we're going to come together whether we like it or not. Right? Read on.
And gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
Read on.
The envy also of Ephraim shall depart.
The envy of the other tribes against the foundational black Americans, that's going to be done away with. Right? It's going to happen. Read.
And the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off.
All of our enemies going to be cut off. This is the plan. This is God's plan, right? Read on.
Ephraim shall not envy Judah.
No more envy of us no more. No more calling us lazy. No more none of that.
Hold on real quick. But we're going to get specific. He said Ephraim, right? That's the Hispanic tribes, meaning the Puerto Ricans, Ephraim, all down. They're not going to what? Envy Judah anymore. That's what it's saying. Now read the rest.
Right?
And Judah shall not vex Ephraim.
And we not going to vex Ephraim. How currently, how will we be vexing Ephraim? And we seen it on with the little argument with the rap. You don't think Fat Joe was vexed?
Yeah.
He's like, I can't say the N-word. These are my people. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the struggle with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? When we pull back and say, guess what? Y'all can't partake with us, that's going to vex the other tribes.
Hey, also vexing them is not giving them their credit when it's due.
Right.
You know
That's
what I'm vexing
saying?
them.
Right.
Yeah, we the foundation of it, of course, but we all together played a part in it. Every single last one of us.
I don't think nobody's arguing that. I think what the argument is around the hip hop, and again, is bigger than rap, even though rap is big, but it's bigger than it. Is that there are people who have been a part of the rap game, part of the hip hop game, who are denying the fact that the tribe of Judah, the foundational black Americans, the American freedmen, are the actual creators of this art form.
Yeah.
Yes, there are people who have contributed to it, 1,000%. That's, I mean, there's white folks who have contributed to hip hop.
Yeah, 100%.
Like nobody's arguing that. But what the fight has been about, from what I understand, is about who's the originator of this thing we call hip hop, and also because it's bigger than that. Do we control the things that we create as a people?
Well, the answer is no.
No.
And it has nothing to do with the tribes. It has something to do with the enemy.
Yeah.
We never control it.
Should we?
No, of course we should, but we don't, and we never will.
Okay.
Because this is not
what you are seeing
place.
right now is an attempt. Is an attempt from people who are part of this tribe to control what's ours. And by
Chris,
control, I mean say
you control the narrative. That's what you want to control. But as far as the business,
that's a part of it. That's
impossible.
That's up. I mean, that's a part of it.
Right.
Because you do have to control the symbolism and the narrative around what's yours and the story about what's yours. So you do have to control, and this is why this is so important. Even though we're talking about rap and hip hop, but it's so important because what you are seeing right now is an attempt, for first time in a long time that I've seen, even though I know it's happened before this, of our people saying, and our people policing the things that are ours and attempting to control the things that we have created and say, yes, you contribute to it, but it's still not yours. We made it. Yes, you contribute to it, but it's still not yours. We made it. And not just in the hip hop world, we're doing the same thing in the political world. For the folks who want to get reparations, who are not those who are foundational black Americans, not those who are American freedmen, we say, we're not stopping you from getting reparations from France or from England or from the Germans. But what you're not going to do is get none of my ancestors' reparations from the United States of America that go to us.
Well, Chris, real quick. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But why aren't you? See, this is the issue, right? If all these people from the different tribes, if they're looking for reparations, y'all should be dealing with each other. Even if y'all not dealing in public, y'all should be like, listen, once we knock down this domino, you know, we gonna go ahead, back y'all up, and we gonna knock down the next domino. But that's not what's going on.
Right.
But let me.
It
But
is.
hold on. Let me. I want to bring something to you, bro. I want to bring something to you because no. Officer Shem had brought out a thing when we said about Judah shall not vex Ephraim because the credit is not being given, right? But the credit goes the other way because everybody knows what it is. Right. Like for instance, I seen hey, give me Genesis 49 and 8, right? Because I seen a video of Crazy Legs, right, from the Rocksteady crew, the breakdancer, right? Now everybody know all the breakdancing crews in New York was Puerto Rican. With some Judah in there, right? Sprinkled about. But the main crews were always Puerto Rican, right? And it was super dope. Everybody knows that. But they spoke to him, and he said when him and the other fellow Puerto Ricans was first getting into hip hop, his people were like, "Yo, y'all getting into the black music." Everybody knows that. But when they calling it black, they mean Black American. Because if you see Crazy Legs back in the days, he had the crazy afro. Everybody know that. Come on, y'all know, you know the runnings, bro. You grew up there. Even amongst the Puerto Rican, they running around with braids and everything else. That's what it was. They have the same heritage that we have in Puerto Rico. It's not that they came here and started learning how to cornrow. They was doing that over there. Cornrows, afro, all that was happening over there, right? But everybody knows what it is. They come here. But watch, I'm gonna read you something so you can understand what's happening in the spirit and here, right? Go ahead.
Genesis 49 and verse 8. Judah.
Stop. Judah, the Black Americans. Watch this, Chris.
Thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise.
You are the one that all the other tribes are going to praise. Right. That's what's happening.
You're going to get it.
When they out in Jamaica and all that, and they watching, they like, damn, yo, they getting busy over there. Yo, that's what they looking at. Yo, we going over there. That's why everybody comes here. Because they seeing the Black Americans putting it down. When you look through history, when you look at we know that the first slaves were emancipated, so-called, or got their own independence out of Haiti. That was like the first place, in certain places in the Caribbean, right? But the fight for civil rights and everything took place here, right? But watch this part. It says, Judah, thou art he whom thy brother shall praise. Go ahead.
Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies.
Because y'all came up with y'all enemies. When you look at all the other tribes, they pretty much was in the land by themselves.
Right.
Right? All of the conquistadors came and then left. The British had went to the West Indies and left. But here, Judah is the only one with their enemies, grew up with them, fighting with them all the time, and said, your hand is going to be in the neck of your enemies. That's why the other tribes love Judah, because they see the fight continuing. Y'all been fighting the whole time, right? Right? Read on.
Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. You
see that? Thy father's children, meaning what? That all the other tribes are going to bow down and say, like we just read before, hey, we coming to you now. Hey, David, you're going to be king over all the tribes.
Right.
And that's what it's always going to be, right? Now, I'm from the tribe of Benjamin, right? But I know that Judah's the head tribe. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, you know, don't get it twisted. You already know. You already know the wolf game is crazy right now, you know, right? But the bottom line is we know what it is, bro. Yeah. And I don't think anybody has a problem with it. So when we see the divisiveness coming up, it makes us upset because the Lord is telling us to bring our families together. Right. That's what we out here teaching.
I'm just gonna say I don't. So what you saying is different than what a lot of other people are saying too. Because I think the fight is, as again, we talking about hip hop, but we use it as an example.
Yes.
Because I can tell you for a fact, some of the most beefing we've done in the reparations world over the past 5 years has been with other tribes,
of course,
who want a cut of our reparations, and who have fought against the things that I'm just telling you. I know these people by name.
Yeah, you need to out them. We need to get them on this show.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's going on? I mean, they got whole organizations. They are. I mean, and they have national organizations. There's local organizations here in California. So I'm saying that what you saying is good, but it's not what a lot of other people are saying and doing. The second thing I want to say is, I am not afraid of the word divisive anymore. I used to think of it as like like a bad word, but I know they called Malcolm divisive. I know they called Dr. King divisive.
Well,
I know
but you know why they were saying that. You know why they were saying that, because they knew that they were building our spirit up to move against them.
Dr. King was one of if we take Dr. King for example, well, one, white folks definitely called Malcolm divisive.
Of course.
I mean that's
he was.
And the Nation of Islam, they called them divisive. I mean, and worse, right? But but they definitely approached them as a divisive movement,
right?
Dividing people from one another. Dr. King also was called divisive and was very unpopular at the time of his murder and his assassination. So I'm not afraid of the word divisive anymore. I actually am wearing it as a badge of honor, because guess what? I am dividing the wheat from the chaff, the strong from the weak, the right from the good. What's ours versus what's not ours. And that is what I'm supposed to be doing. That's what now, I don't have to tear nobody else down to do it. I don't have to do that. But if you get in our way and you try to take down what we're doing, we're going to tear you down. That's part of what we have to do to go forward. So we don't have to tear nobody else down. Like, I think you said this earlier, family, for the folks who are of the other tribe, of the tribe of Benjamin, and who are owed a lot from France and from
Britain,
England, and they owed a lot. I have said this 1,000 times. I know for a fact that when we get ours, it's going to help you get yours. It's going to superpower your movement. Because if we could do it here in the heart and the belly of the beast, where we still living with the
enemy
thing, right? Then you definitely could do it. You definitely could do it. And to be honest, we'll be in such a more empowered place that we could probably help you. We could put some real help behind it if we chose to. So I said 1,000 times, and I have no problem saying it at all. And also, nobody, and we are unapologetic about this. We are our own people. Nobody who is not of our people is getting none of our ancestors' inheritance. We're not sharing it. We're not giving nobody no cut. We ain't selling pieces of it away for support. We're not doing none of that. We standing on that. And anybody who try to move us off that is going to get moved over, because that's just what we have to do. And we got a bigger problem, because it's people who don't want none of us to get nothing. So while I'm fighting with the other tribes who trying to get some of ours, I also got one hand and one eye on the people who don't want none of us to get nothing. It will be a lot easier for me in my work is if the people who with the other tribes, more of them, because there are those. I mean, for example, on the Reparations Task Force, one of the brothers on the task force was from the tribe of Benjamin, Dr. Javon Scott Lewis, born in Jamaica, born there.
Right.
He was on our state reparations task force, and he said, "This ain't for me. This is for y'all. Right. This is for the American freedmen, the Foundation of Black Americans. This is for y'all. I'm gonna support this because I think y'all should get it." So we definitely got them out there. They are definitely out there, but those folks are less powerful or less organized than the other people from the other tribes who are actively to this day working to make us cut them a piece of some of what our ancestors are owed.
Yeah, well, let's just talk. They can't force nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? That's just talk. Go ahead, Officer.
My thing about this is, okay, well, look, we are the same people, period, point blank.
Right.
And it's ours. It's Israel's. Let's just be honest. It's Israel's, because when we push, if we was to push together, then that's when the agenda is stand in God's eyes. Mm-hmm. Give me Matthew 12 and verse 25. Because when we put ourselves against each other, we going against our moral code that God gave us. And that's why a lot of the stuff that we try to do as people fail. It fails because we separating us when it's supposed to be all 12 tribes of Israel. Yeah. Of course, we pushing stuff through Judah, because when Judah gets stuff done, then all of the tribes follow. But we can't. I don't like the fact that we using possessive terms when it's all of us. Give me that.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12 and verse 25.
Come on.
And Jesus knew their thoughts and said unto them.
He said he knew their thoughts. He knew the thoughts of everybody, of all of the tribes. Come on.
Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
Every kingdom that's divided against himself, this is ours, this is ours, this is ours.
Divisive.
It's going to be divisive and it's going to be desolate. It's going to be made desolate. It's going to come to nothing. Read.
And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand.
It said we will not stand if we are divided. And that's what they try to keep our mind there. They try to keep our mind of dividing the 12 tribes, because as long as they can't come together and gather together as the prophecies say, we will always be able to one up them. We don't have to one up them. They're going to one up themselves.
That's the point.
Let me give you this real quick and then jump on in, family, because thank you, brother. That scripture was perfect. All right. So here's some of that I said a little earlier that I want to come back to, specifically on this point. The position that we taking is that in order for us to get to this united, not divided place, we got to be respected. We got to be respected in our own identity, in our own right. We have to be able to self-determine who we are as a people and assert our tribe, right? Assert our uniqueness as a specific tribe. That's what we're doing. That to us is the way to what we call solidarity, or the purest form of what I think you are all talking about and you are all working towards. The way to what you want to do and what you want us to be and what the scripture calls us to be is, in our opinion, what we're doing. Not asserting our own peoplehood, not asserting our own uniqueness, not policing the boundaries of what's ours and what's not. The way that you actually get to that is actually by standing up, saying, listen, we are our own people. This is ours. That's yours. We respect what's yours. We respect what's ours. We're our own people. And now we can link up, and now we can be not divided together.
Hey, Chris.
That's the only risk. So I want y'all to understand that.
No, we fully understand, Chris. We hear you. Now we fully understand. You was gonna say something, bro?
Yeah, I like what he said. Hey, people need to respect us, right? And that's the whole point. People need to respect us. Now, nobody gonna respect us over an argument. We saying this is ours, this is ours. What's really gonna make people respect us, right? Stop smoking crack. Right? Come on. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look. Hey, 16 and pregnant, let's stop that. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna make the people respect us. Give me Deuteronomy 4 and 5. Right. So this our whole thing. I like the standpoint. I feel what you're saying. I don't think they should get none of the American slaves reparation either. It don't make sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But guess what? What is better to fix us than arguing over things like who's the better basketball player, LeBron James or Michael Jordan? You know what I'm saying? That's based upon perspective. But guess what? Read this.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments.
Hey, God taught us statutes and judgments. Hey, love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's the statute of judgment that we're supposed to apply. Guess what? Thou shalt not kill. So don't let your son kill my son. I'm not going to teach my son to kill your son. And the neighborhood is going to be great, right? Read on.
Even as the Lord my God commanded me. That ye should do so in the land, whether ye go to possess it.
Now, we start loving each other like we're supposed to love each other. We start to, you know what I'm saying? Guess what? You see my ox going to ditch, you help it out. You know, we look out for each other. We respect ourselves, right? Read on.
Keep therefore and do them.
If we keep the commandments and do the commandments, read.
For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Now look what the nation's going to say when we start to do that. Read.
Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Boom, you get your respect.
Right.
You see that? You get your respect right there just off applying the knowledge that God gave you.
Right.
And I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Cap.
And real quick, Chris, because we all together, all the tribes, we all went into slavery, right? In different places.
Right.
Right? Let me get Jeremiah 50 and 33. I just want to make sure you understand that. Right? And I know you know, obviously, right? But just to let you know how God is looking at us, right? Remember, we brought out the scripture showing you that Judah's the head. We brought that out. All the brethren is going to look towards Judah. But you got to understand something. The way we going about it now through this is not the right way. We have to gather ourselves together. So even though you trying to do your thing, Judah's the head tribe. That's what it is. There ain't nothing going to stop that. But listen to this real quick. Watch this.
Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel.
Meaning what? The Hispanic tribes, which is known as the northern kingdom of Israel. Go ahead.
And the children of Judah.
And the children of Judah, which is the southern kingdom, which was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. They used to all be together. Go ahead.
Were oppressed together.
Were in slavery together. Right. All 12 tribes. Go ahead.
And all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
They refused to let us go. We could have left. We could have actually been up out of here a long time ago. They won't let us be by ourselves.
Right.
No matter where our people are, it's them that rule over us. In America, you got the white man as the president. In the West Indies, you either got some kind of Syrian or East Indian as the president of the place, right? Over in Africa, they puppet governments of what? France and Belgium and all these different places. We're never in full control. Why? Because if we in full control and we as a unit, it's over.
Yeah.
Right. It's over. They have to keep us separated.
Because I want to keep hearing this. Let's add another contribution to this too.
Okay.
About let's also continue to tell the whole truth about how we got here. Okay. Almost all of us who got here involuntarily, and y'all know this.
Yep.
I'm gonna just say it, just so we have this on the table also. Were sold here by others of the other tribes or our own tribe, right?
No.
We wasn't sure. Can we get?
Oh yeah,
please give me that, Joel. We gonna show you.
Okay, so help me understand.
I'm about to give it to you. The scripture is gonna help you understand it because that's another device that they use to try to put us against one another.
Divisiveness, Chris.
Yeah, this is another device that they use to try to put us against one another.
This is not good divisiveness that we about to read.
Yeah.
This is the bad one.
Yeah, because it's not, just because people have the same color skin.
Correct my historical record, because from what I understand.
Yes, black people we sold ourselves into slavery.
No, we didn't. So a lot of us, I think almost most of us, were sold from African tribes to the Europeans.
Yes.
But those African tribes are not us.
Right. So this is what we're trying to show you now.
Okay.
The distinction that you're trying.
Okay. So who are those African tribes?
Exactly. The distinction you're trying to make between Judah and the other tribes is the distinction you should be making between the 12 tribes and the Africans.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
the Africans are
yes.
Okay. So the Africans are not a part of the
No.
Okay.
It's different people. You're gonna see this. Watch.
Give me Exodus 11:7 first, and then go to Joel. Watch this. Watch what God said.
And if y'all can pull up the Zondervan on IT.
Yes, on hand.
Bible dictionary.
Yeah.
Hey Chris, we know we got you for a long time, bro. We ain't gonna hold you that much longer.
That's
bro.
all good, bro. I'm learning and I'm building.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 11 and verse 7.
Come on.
But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue.
Come on.
Against man or beast.
Read.
That ye may know.
That you may know, that we may know, that everybody may know.
How that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
So God had to put a clear difference between the Egyptians, who are Africans, and Israelites. Why? Because we have the same skin color.
Right.
Just because we have the same skin color don't mean we the same people. He said he put a difference between us and them. What is that difference?
That,
Psalms.
Wait, hold on. Chris,
I love that. I love what he just said. Just because we got the same skin color don't mean we the same people.
Exactly.
No.
Chris, don't try to run off with that. We're not even going to let you use that divisiveness once again. It ain't happening, Chris. That's the bad divisiveness.
Divisive, all right?
That's the bad divisive. We're going to show you the good divisive.
Right.
All right? Go ahead.
Go to Psalms 147. Let's see what the difference is. The difference that he put between us and the Africans, the Hamites, was the way that we move, our culture, the laws. Watch, it's going to give it to you. Psalms 147.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19.
Go ahead.
He showeth his word unto Jacob.
He showed his word unto Jacob. Come on.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Uh-huh.
He hath not dealt so with any nation.
He said he gave everything to us, his laws, his statutes, his commandments, the moral codes, everything that we must do to rule the planet. He only gave that to us. He didn't give that to the Egyptians. That's the difference between us, right? Go to Joel 2 now.
Now
3.
Right. So now this scripture he's about to read now, Chris, is going to show you exactly who put us into slavery.
Right? Yes.
That's the beautiful thing about the Bible. The Lord makes things very clear.
Yeah.
It's just that the churches don't read it, you know? So
Yep.
the Lord had to send a prophet. That's why we here, Chris. Learn from this, man. Get with us, Chris.
You want to get the definition of ham first, or you want to go into this?
Hey, do y'all got the Bible dictionary up?
Yeah, please go to
Chris,
that. Because just to hit the point on, because it said he put a difference between the Africans and us. And we want to see now what's the difference. Come on, read that.
Real quick. And the Zondervan, now, Chris, this is the Zondervan's Compact Bible Dictionary, all right? This is written by the so-called scholars who are, white people, Edomites, right? We didn't write it. None of our people wrote it. So listen to what they said.
Watch this.
All right, this is the definition of ham out of the Zondervan's Compact Bible Dictionary.
Can Chris see that?
Yeah, he can see.
Okay,
Yep.
Yeah, read that.
Yep.
Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor.
He became the first
of the dark races.
of all of the dark nations. But watch this, Chris.
But not the Negroes.
But not us. Showing you what? They know that there's a clear difference between us and them.
Right.
Come on.
But the Egyptians,
Africans.
Ethiopians,
More Africans.
Libyans, and Canaanites.
You see that? So they know that it's a difference between the Hamite and the Negro. We're not the same. We're not the same. And how did they know who to round up and gather to sell to white people? What we read earlier, the laws, how we observed, what we observed, how we dressed, the holidays we kept. They knew exactly who to round up by the culture that we kept, our culture that we kept, and not theirs.
Excellent, and that's a beautiful thing, Chris, that you've seen that, right? And also, there's a book called From Babylon to Timbuktu, and it shows how when they went to go get the slaves, they went for the Hebrews, right? That's how this country got built, because they went after the engineers. We wasn't over there swinging in no trees. Right. No, we wasn't drinking no blood and doing none of that.
Right.
We was over there civilized as hell.
Over there building,
For real. You know about Timbuktu, right? That was a famous library where everybody came to learn, right? You had the Songhai Empire. You had all that. That's where our people were dwelling at, right? So when they came there, they came to get those smart people to bring them back to America to build. That's what happened. And when they got over here, some of our people was already here.
Yep.
So when they came, houses were already built. They already had reservoir systems. They already had toilets. All of that, houses and everything was already hooked up. That's why if you look up, you'll find out that there's 200 pyramids already in America plus, because our people been here building them since we was over in Egypt. Right? So here we go. Hey, pull out that part. Chris got to see this. This is excellent information, Chris. This is why we know we 12 tribes. We fighting for the minds of our people, right? Hey, y'all got the page? You don't have the page, but you put the book up. But anyway, Chris,
that's the book. That's the book, Chris.
So first of all, thank you for that knowledge.
Yeah.
All right. That knowledge is very helpful to me, because we raise this a lot, and we say this a lot in the reparations world, where we want to tell the whole truth about how we got here. And there's this this idea that because people got the same skin color as us, or et cetera, or they're from the continent, wherever, that that not just that we the same people, but that the same things happen to us.
Right.
So thank you for that. And also I want to go back real quick to what one of the brothers and family said around respect.
Right.
And I don't want to let that pass because I wanted to say something on that too before we break out. So how you also get respect is you fight for things and you work in politics and get things specifically for your people and don't give it to nobody else. That's also how you get respect. And also how you get respect is when people come try to take your stuff, you stop them. When people try to claim things that's yours, you stop them. And that's also how you get respect. And that's what you're seeing, as we said, back to the rap music, hip hop thing in the entertainment space, movies, all that. Sports too, and to some extent, even though sports is a little bit less, and definitely in the political world. That's what we're doing. We are imposing and making people respect us.
Hey,
and
Chris,
that sometimes is divisive.
The music industry, right? Regardless of how it started, if we argue about that, we're not talking about what it is today.
Perfect.
Today,
right.
let's say the drill music. Put that back. That's not ours. You know what I'm saying?
We don't want that.
Yeah, that's how that. Hey, Glorilla, get them Glow.
Right.
Put that back. That's not ours. You know what I'm saying? All the
part of that.
Cardi B's and all that. Let's talk about that.
Because first of all, I know every generation of the hip hop world got a version of what we call the drill. Or a version of what we call
that's definitely. That's definitely true.
Some of the things we was listening to back in the 80s and 90s.
No, 100%.
Yeah, it was
for
trash.
sure. It's horrible.
Yeah,
Horror. Some of it is worse than what we listen to now.
I don't know about that though.
No, it was just more artistic. It was artistic. It was more artistic back then.
The gangster rap.
Yeah, gangster rap.
We got in the late 80s and in the 90s.
Most definitely.
Some of that is worse. It was whole gang wars over. It's
no, 100%. Right. 100%.
It's still whole gang wars. Yeah. It's the gay versus the straight. Right here, right now. Right here, right now. You got people that's flamboyant as hell men toting guns, killing other men. It ain't nothing changed, but that's not the point. The point is take all of that trash, wrap it back up, and throw it in the trash can.
Right.
That's the point. We don't want nothing to do with none of that because all that did was divide us. And the only reason why it's popular in the oppressor allowed that to happen is for us to fight against each other, is for us to keep the 12 tribes divided. Right. So everything that they have for us is a device to keep the Israelites down.
Ways, I'm not disagreeing with you there, but I'm also adding to. I just want to contribute to it because a lot of what we see that we don't like is still a reflection of the conditions of our people.
Yeah, come on.
Whether we like what we're seeing or not. Whether it's amplified and gaslit by other forces outside of it, a lot of what we see that we don't like is, one, let's keep it real. I think most of us we may be in the same age range. Yeah. We are the parents of the drill kids.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
Ain't we the parents of this generation?
Yeah. Absolutely.
We have to accept responsibility and accountability for us as a people who raised these same young folks, and then also understand that, as I just said, what we was coming up on was not much better, if better at all.
Well, and I'm saying it too,
as somebody who, I think I told y'all last time. So I do reparations work. That's my volunteer work, which is damn near 40, 80 hours a week. Really, and then. I'm also a policy manager at an organization called the Anti-Recidivism Coalition. So I was in the county jail here in Sacramento on Friday. I was in the prison on Thursday in Stockton.
We didn't know you did that work, bro.
Right on.
Not at all.
Okay,
now
we got to contact you offline and talk about something else.
Definitely, and happy to do that.
Yeah.
In the office I work here in Sacramento, 98% of the staff is formerly incarcerated, and I'm talking about lifers, death rowers, You know, and this is why I was making this point, because a lot of, like, my colleague, I mean, the brother who sits in the office right next to me where I'm looking right now, was one of the last juveniles to get life without possibility of parole in the state of California before we fixed the laws and changed that so California can't give juveniles that LWOP, we call it LWOP, life without possibility of parole, anymore. I got colleagues of mine who were sentenced to 230 years, 150 years at 15, at 16, at 17, at 18. People who, you know, did 40, 50 years, who, you know, I get the chance to hug every single day, who home now. So I'm saying that to say, and who started out as kids, who started out as children. So while, you know, all the things that we don't like that we see, and if you talk to a lot of these folks who was youth when they got, you know, they first bids, or when they was when they got, you know, caught up, it's clear that they are and we are reflections of what the conditions are that we came up in and the environment that we was reared in, and that's coming out in the music too. So I'm just adding that, you know, back to the respect thing. Yes, yeah, obviously, listen, to me, the music won't change until the conditions of the people change. Then the music will change after that. But until then, until we do the hard work that y'all doing every single day, the community work that y'all doing every single day, the learning and building and teaching work, the political work that we're doing too, the economic work that fixes the conditions, the music going to stay the same or get worse.
Right. So, and listen, Chris, we know we're going to let you go in a second. We got to read one more thing before you go. We got to read it again. Bring out that Joel, because we got to show you the actual slave trade. Because remember, we showed you the difference, but we got to show you the actual part where the slave trade took place. Is recorded, right? Meaning the Lord discussed who it was that put us into slavery, right? You got that, officer?
The book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people.
Right. It said they have cast lots for my people. Meaning what? They bidding on my people, right?
And have given a boy for an harlot.
They gave a boy for a harlot. Meaning what? They had a boy as a breeder, right? This sound familiar to you? Go ahead.
And sold a girl for wine that they might drink.
Right, and they sold a girl for wine, meaning what? They had those parties where they would rape the sisters, right? And have drinking and all of that. That's what this is going into. Our history, it's talking about a prophecy that was to come. That was our slavery, right? You remember this. This should sound familiar to you.
It's very familiar.
Okay, go ahead.
Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
So the Lord said, what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? These are African nations. Go ahead.
And all the coast of Palestine.
And all the coast of Palestine. He's talking about the Arabs, right? Go ahead.
Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head.
Right. The reason he's bringing up the Africans and the Arabs, because remember, before you had the transatlantic, you had the sub-Saharan slave trade. So he's bringing that up. He's saying, what y'all got to do? Because they were trading. Was the Africans trading the Israelites to what? To the Arabs. Right? Go ahead.
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things.
Go ahead.
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians.
Right. So he's saying, you Arabs and you Africans, you sold the children of Israel to the Grecians. The Grecians are who? The white people. Right? This is how we got into slavery. It wasn't our people that sold us into slavery. It was the Africans. It was the Arabs who sold us to the white man into slavery.
Right.
All over the world. Right.
I agree with that 1,000%. That's actually that's actually what happened.
Yep.
Literally actually what happened.
Right. And so that's recorded in the scriptures. So that's the beautiful thing that what we get out of these scriptures, bro. And that's why we love to bring it to brothers like yourself who's out there, really trying to do some positive work, right? That, and that's why we recognize all of our people who are freedom fighters. Even going back, we know that they wasn't in the Bible, but we still have respect for the Black Panthers, right? Even the Nation of Islam, they put it down. They did what they had to do. They Muslim, they reading the Quran, but they did what they had to do in terms of organizing. They tried to get something going. Even when you go all the way back to Marcus Garvey, right? He had something set up to where all of it. Matter of fact, Marcus Garvey was from the tribe of Benjamin, man. Let me just throw that in there. You know what I mean? I got to throw that in there, bro. From Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? But he came to America. He wasn't looking at, oh, no, you got to. No, he gathered the people. He gathered the people, and he did massive work. Matter of fact, all those organizations are built on what Marcus Garvey did, right? And that has nothing to do with him being from the tribe of Benjamin, Judah, whatever. I'm saying that everybody, you look to the person who did the work, right? So they did it, and they put it together. So now the scriptures say that the Lord said he's going to save his apostles for last. So that's why we here. Now, we're the new thing on the earth. But now we got to come with the scriptures. We got to come with the laws of God to teach our people how to get right and how to get ourselves together. Right. You know, Chris? So it says that in one more before you go. One more. I'm sorry, Chris. One more. I can't leave you like that. One more. Hey, give me Amos, man. Give me Amos 9. Give me Amos 9, man. And then we're going to let Chris, we're going to let you up out of here, man. You always a beautiful brother. Very love, gracious with your time, man. Love, 1,000.
Yes, most definitely, yes, man. Sir. We love having you on. It'll be great conversation
every time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, Amos 9 and 11, and then 12, and then we're going to let you go. We got to give you a little bit of good news before you go, bro.
Come on, I'm with it.
Amos chapter 9, verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen.
So the Lord said in that day, meaning when he come back, he going to raise up the tabernacles of David that is fallen. Right? Go ahead.
And close up the breaches thereof.
He going to close up the breaches, meaning what? There's breaches between the tribes right now. Now he going to bring it all back together to all the 12 tribes that we working on now. When Christ come, the whole thing getting put back together. Go ahead.
And I will raise up his ruins. And I will build it as in the days of old.
When the 12 tribes had it on lock. That's what he's saying. Read.
That they may possess the remnant of Edom.
When we're going to have the so-called white man in slavery. That's what this is talking about. Go ahead.
And all of the heathen.
And all the other nations. Go ahead.
Which are called by my name.
The ones that's calling themselves so-called Israelis and all of that. They're going to be underfoot.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. Yeah. So I wanted to leave you with that, Chris. That's very divisive. That's good divisive.
That's good divisiveness right there, man.
Yeah.
Bruh, we coming back for our people, man. All 12 tribes, man.
Yeah, we want it all.
We want the whole world back. The world belong us. Yeah. Our reparations is the world, man. Straight up.
That's it. Hey, Chris, man. Hey, listen, Chris. We didn't know you did that prison work. We're gonna get with you. We do a lot of we doing prison work as well. Okay. And we would love to talk to you about that. You know, offline, we gonna hit you up. You know how we do it.
Yeah, please
right?
do. Please do.
Yes, sir. Chris, hey, as always, man, just y'all stay up, man. You know, we would love for you to actually join us at some point, of course. You know what I'm saying? We want all our people. We want all our people to be with us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he said, I know. We want all our people to be with us.
Family no matter what, B.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No matter what.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You
so
heard,
we hit,
B?
man. Yeah. They laugh at the New York thing,
B,
bro.
you heard? Did you heard me?
We had another brother on here. We had a show on artificial intelligence, and as he's talking, he was like, "Yeah, B." Everybody started laughing. You know what I mean? Well, with that, Chris, hey, my brother, be safe out there. Hey, we gonna have to get together, man. We gotta sit down and get lunch or something with the brother. Y'all right here. You right here.
At some point, definitely hit me up, man. Let's absolutely break bread. Y'all here in the city, so we must do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. All right, Chris. Hey, my brother, stay safe out there, and we're gonna see you again, Lord's will.
Yes,
all right?
sir.
Yes, sir. Give it up for Chris Lodgson.
Give it up for Chris, man.
All praises,
That's
all
beautiful
praises.
stuff there, man.
Oh, that was great. That was great, man. Chris is a excellent individual, great guest as always, and you know what I'm saying. He doing his thing out there. He putting a lot of time into it. Yeah, you know, we know what the scripture's saying, but you know, we still always show honor and respect to our people who's out there trying to do something. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And the hopes is maybe the scriptures might spark, you know what I'm saying, a round turn or a right idea.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because most of the all of our leaders, they absent of the correct understanding of the scriptures, from Marcus Garvey all the way up to Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? But now that we hear, it's like, look what's happening. Let me show you. And it, like he's saying, oh, that line up perfect. Right. They said the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, the scriptures is right.
That's right.
You know, so it's right about all the it's right about the things you see in presently, and it's right about the solution.
All praises, all praises. All right, so yo, listen. Hey, y'all, okay. No. Wrong hand. All right. Hey, listen. make sure y'all donate to the Booster Club. All right. The Isaiah 11:11 Project. All right. We all over the world teaching our people, bringing them back, making them the 12 tribes once again. All right. So y'all give it up. You know what I'm saying? Throw a little bit of change up in there. Right. But we're going to ask you for one thing. Save a little. Save like 10, 25 cents. Hey, throw up that next one. Throw up that the donation one. Donation thumbnail. Okay, yeah, here we go. We begging y'all. We begging y'all. All right?
Move the other the QR code.
Yeah, y'all got to get rid of the Booster Club QR code for a second. We're going to put it back up. All right, so this is the Nehemiah Squad. Donate, support the show. All right, you know, we just trying to get a little bit more lights and stuff. You know, Chris was like, "Hey, you look a little brighter." He was right. We do have a little.
He noticed.
More light. Yeah, no, real talk. Chris was on it. So, hey, y'all, if y'all got like, you know what I'm saying, 25 cents, you know what I'm saying, $1, you know, $1,000, you know, just throwing it up in there. Donate, support the show, so we can just add a couple of little, you know, special effects up in there. All right, that's the QR code for it. You know what I mean, and you know, just give as you can. Definitely give to the Booster Club because that's doing big work. But if y'all got a couple cents left over, throw us a dime or two, you know. Give us the thumbnail for next week's show, y'all. Next week's show. All right. So next week's show is called The Unseen Battle, Suicide, Grief, and the Power of Support. We're going to be here with Dr. Donna Barnes. She's going to be talking about suicide rising amongst our people, which is, I didn't even know that was happening. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because we were the last people to be killing ourselves. Now, all of a sudden, that's rising. You know what I mean? And we're going to talk with the doctor, the good doctor, and Lord's will. We're going to have some great conversation and some knowledge coming up out of that. And, of course, you know what I'm saying, we're going to bring out the scriptures, and Lord's will, she could get something out of that as well, and the people, you know. All praises. What else? We got anything else, y'all? That's it? All right. Well, guess what? The officer Shim, take us out.
Yo. All right. Come on. You know what I want.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 13, verse 21. Then I testified against them and said unto them, why lodge ye about the wall? If ye do so again, I will lay hands on you.
Hey, yo, y'all know what time it is, man. If you keep on doing that, we got to lay hands on you. If you don't donate to the Booster Club, we got to lay hands on you. And if you keep on trying to use that bad divisiveness and not gather our people, we got to lay hands on you. Hey, yo, you just tuned in to the Nehemiah Squad.
Yes,
we
sir.
your hosts. I'm Officer Shim. That's Captain Zaccai. That's Officer Judah.
Yeah.
And we out.
Yeah.
All right, Most High Christ bless y'all. Shalom, shalom.
Yeah.
I need a break. I don't need a reason. I need a script. I don't need your grievance. Keep it to yourself. It's better for my health. Leave it on the shelf. Ain't hearing nothing else. Tonight and tonight, knowing the price. Pay it off with my life. Till it's out with your lights. Do it all for the Christ. And he ain't playing nice. Knew the end from the start. Fix your face like it's art. The sons of a simp, call him Bart. Yeah, you did your best, played your part. But now it's time to cut you to the heart. That's on occasion. It's the strangest of the salvation. You see it, believe it, amazing. Them chariots coming invasion since the creation. War of mine, Lord, bless the general. Greatest nation, eat them unequivocal. Bombs dropping, buddy, cause it's biblical. Start shit, now it's time to finish. Whoa. Said he won't woke, he looking for smoke. So, we give him some more. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world. And the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. And the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. And the beginning of ours. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world.
I can't wait for our kingdom to start and for there to be finished. Get rid of all of their idols and lying religions. Look for the crown like an Edris. Hey, this that crown talk. Wisdom of Solomon 5 talk. This that second Edris 6 and 9. We want eyes talk. It's your time to end and my time again. It's our time to win. Away with the sin. You know what it is. Rejoice with my kin. See that is why we repented. Golden streets, I can see myself in it. The city is bright, the kingdom of light. A wonderful sight past the angels, the inner light. I need 1,000 years of labor, sit on my throne with my savior. Try to know wine, press alone, he bring pain like major. You think the nations is equal to us? T.K. Kirkland, who raised you? Flex on occasion, my God a racist, that's why we moving with patience. It's been a long time coming, I spent my whole life running. Now that I'm 10 toes down and established my faith on 100. Woe to the nations, my king will race them, you know they gotta be punished. Jeremiah 25, yeah, you know they gon' fry. Whoa!